I will speak on two specific areas, preschool and tertiary education. Ms. Irene Ng and Mr. Zainuddin Nordin touched on social and emotional resources of our young and supporting low-income students. We aim to give our children a good start in life. Research shows that children who have a good early childhood education tend to do well later in life. A good educational foundation early in life is therefore extremely important. And we are doing this in two ways. First, by promoting consistency of standards in content and teaching across the sector. Secondly, through MOE kindergartens. To date, we have 10 MOE kindergartens which provide quality preschool education that is affordable to Singaporeans. 5 more will open next year. The MKs aim to pilot teaching and learning resources and establish good practices for sharing with the preschool sector. Giving every child a good start does not mean that the child in preschool must be able to do the primary 1 syllabus while still in preschool. There is still a preconception that a child is doing well only if the child is doing something beyond that child's level. That should not be the case. At the preschool stage, the child should learn in a way that is appropriate to the age and stage of development. What is important is what they learn, that's the content, and how they learn, the pedagogy. For content, MOE has developed the Nurturing Early Learners curriculum, a toolkit of kindergarten curriculum resources. This contains guidelines for a holistic preschool education, including learning areas such as numeracy, motor skills development, language and literacy, and social and emotional development. In terms of how they learn, MOE has 2 core pedagogies: to engage children in learning through, firstly, purposeful play, and secondly, quality interactions between teachers and children. The kindergartens, or the MOE kindergartens of today, are not the kindergartens that we remember. Children no longer learn through spelling lists and rote memory. Today, we encourage children to learn, explore, and ask questions about their world through play. The teachers plan learning activities which are fun and enjoyable for the children and help them achieve intended learning outcomes holistically. Mr. Harikumar talked about communication skills. We're helping our children build a strong foundation through bilingualism. Research increasingly shows the importance of learning languages at a young age. Children who are exposed to 2 languages from young are more likely to be able to acquire both languages at a higher level of proficiency than their peers who start later. Researchers compared a group of children who learned a second language earlier and used it longer with another group who learned a second language later. They found that the group of early bilinguals were more fluent and proficient than their peers. The early bilinguals also had greater self-regulation skills and ability to focus on a given task. We have made bilingualism a key feature of our MKs so that our children will be fluent in English and mother tongue and will have a strong anchor on which to build their language capabilities as they grow older. Our MKs have the Weeks of Wonder, or WOW. These are term projects that facilitate language learning. Each year, the children do 4 WOW projects, 2 in English, 2 in mother tongue, where they work together with their peers and teachers to investigate topics of interest in mother tongue. With your permission, Madam Chairman, may I display some slides on the screens?
Yes, please.
Here, you see the MK children visiting a flower shop. These are the ones doing Tamil language, and interviewing the Indian owner about the use of roses in the Indian culture. They also interviewed others and searched through books and the internet. The owner showed them around his shop, demonstrated how a rose garland was made using banana strings, and explained the use of roses on different occasions in Indian culture. The children were so excited that they decided to set up their own florist shop. And this required them to work with each other, practice their Tamil, and express their creativity. The children also learned about the value of teaching others when they went home and created rose bouquets with their families using recycled materials from their flower shop. This WOW project illustrates the pedagogical approach of learning through play, as well as innovative techniques for language learning. But in order to provide good preschool education, we must also have good preschool teachers. MOE is working closely with the Early Childhood Development Agency, or ECDA, to train preschool teachers. We have developed the Nurturing Early Learners Framework, which guides preschools in designing and implementing a quality kindergarten curriculum for children aged 4 to 6. We've also launched the Educator's Guide, which helps teachers translate the framework into quality learning experiences for children. About 6,000 preschool educators were trained by end 2014. We need more early childhood professionals to meet the growing demand for services. If you're interested in teaching, if you like children, if you're passionate about helping them to build character and a strong foundation in life, do consider a career in early childhood care and education. I would also encourage persons, including women who have left the workforce and wish to return, to consider a career in early childhood. There are many different pathways to becoming an early childhood professional, with entry and training into the sector at all levels. There are early childhood courses at ITE, Polytechnic, and university level, each providing a stepping stone to the next level in combination with work experience. For pre-service trainees, there are the ECDA Training Awards for both full-time ITE and Polytechnic diplomas in early childhood care and education courses. The ITE Training Award was introduced last year. The take-up has been promising, with about 20 ITE students receiving the award to date. Mr. Ang Wei Neng and Mr. Zainuddin Nordin asked about support for mid-career learners. There are also pathways for mid-career professionals who want to enter the sector. Li Xian was an auditor in an accounting firm for 4 years. She wanted to change her job for a better work-life balance. Inspired by her older sister, who is an early childhood professional, Li Xian took the Singapore Polytechnic Conversion Diploma in Early Childhood Education and completed the 1-year course in September last year. She's happy with her career change and says that she is enjoying the moments of satisfaction and the priceless hugs of the children on a daily basis. There are also part-time courses for those who cannot study full-time. Working professionals can take the part-time diploma in Early Childhood Care and Education at our polytechnics from October this year. These courses will give recognition for prior learning and competencies gained through work experience, which will shorten the overall course hours. ECDA is also working closely with WDA to develop structured competency-based pathways that will reflect the competencies and training required for the jobs. And here you can see the different pathways. Skills Future has been a prominent feature of this budget, and MOE is actively involved in implementing various aspects of Skills Future. First, enhanced education and career guidance will now be an integral part of our education system. And for this, let me share with you Daniel's story. If I may show the slide, Daniel is an ITE student completing a higher NITEC in mechanical engineering when I first met him last year. Like many young people, he wasn't sure what his next step should be. He had taken mechanical engineering at ITE, but it was not his first choice. He wasn't sure he wanted to continue in engineering. I asked him what he thought he might like to do. He said either culinary arts or sports science, but again, he wasn't sure. I offered to arrange internships for him so he would be in a better position to decide. He opted to try culinary arts. I asked PS Cafe, which operates in my constituency, if they could take him on. They kindly agreed to do so. Daniel duly went for his internship, which he enjoyed tremendously. The outcome, however, is interesting, and this is how Daniel made his decision. He spoke to the other chefs, and they shared their experiences and advice. He also spoke to his section head of mechanical engineering at ITE. He knew he really enjoyed his work as a chef and had fun in the kitchen, but he also considered the cost of sacrificing and throwing away everything he had learned in the 2 years. So after much thought, he decided to continue with engineering and not to discard what he has learned. Cooking remains a passion for him, but he wants to have something which builds on his engineering background as a career. And if his passion for culinary arts is still strong, he may go back to it later in life. I suppose he can use the Skills Future credits. He has since applied for polytechnic admission in engineering-related courses, including engineering and product design. These courses would offer the prospect of interesting, practical, and stable jobs, and they allow him to leverage on his mechanical engineering skills foundation, yet explore new areas. However, his internship at PS Cafe also provided him with valuable experience, and he now has the option of revisiting culinary arts at a later stage if he wants. But the most important part about this story is that the advice, the guidance, and the internship empowered Daniel to make an informed choice that was his own decision. His story illustrates the importance of education and career guidance, or ECG, and this can be delivered through structured ECG programs, short internships, or industrial visits. Mr. Ang Wei Neng noted that ECG counselors need to be properly trained. We agree. MOE will play a coordinating role to ensure that ECG programs are relevant to students from primary to post-secondary levels, and a central ECG unit is being set up within MOE to oversee planning and implementation of ECG. We will pilot an enhanced engagement program for secondary 2 and 3 students to build awareness of industries and sectors and the applied learning environment in polytechnics. And this year, we will begin with 50 schools for the secondary 2 students and 24 schools for the secondary 3 students. At polytechnics and ITE, we will introduce more systematic ECG through a common set of ECG outcomes and learning objectives. Another aspect of Skills Future, which MOE is closely involved in implementing, is internships and industrial attachments. The benefits of internships are clear. They provide an authentic learning environment which allow the student to gain practical, real-life knowledge and hands-on experience. Mr. Yi Zhenjiang spoke about the management of industrial internships. Some companies do them well, some not so well. We agree that more can be done to improve internships. It has to be done sector by sector, and the government and the IHLs will support, but employers must do their part. In the early childhood sector, EGDA has provided a capability grant to centers that host enhanced internship for students for the full-time early childhood care and education courses at the IHLs. The grant will help employers defray costs of developing and running internship programs, for instance, the costs of training and deployment of mentors, as well as the costs in providing stipends and teaching and learning resources for interns. EGDA is also working with IHLs to develop structured internship programs for specific durations, which will help companies plan their internships better. We need more companies to support our enhanced internships to provide meaningful work assignments and mentoring by professionals. We also need companies to provide places for the on-the-job training within the Skills Future Earn and Learn program. Polytechnic and ITE graduates who successfully complete the skills training program will receive industry-recognized qualifications such as advanced diplomas, specialized diplomas, or certificates. MPs have spoken about the need for manpower. The Earn and Learn program is in fact a powerful recruitment platform and pipeline of talent for local businesses, MNCs and SMEs alike, and I would encourage companies to take it up. Lifelong learning is another important aspect of Skills Future. Let me tell you Johnny's story. I met Mr. Johnny Ng, the Managing Director of NKH Building Services, a company that does pump services and maintenance. Johnny finished his O-levels in 1977 and proceeded straight to NS. He found it difficult to get a job after NS. He realized he needed to upgrade himself and took part-time courses at the then Singapore Vocational Institute and later ITE. From 1988 to 1992, he took electrical studies as he was then working with his brother to install and maintain control panels. From 1993 to 1994, he obtained a qualification as a licensed electrical worker. As business expanded, he realized he needed other skills. So between 1992 and 1995, he took up management courses at the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. And at the same time, electronics was booming. He saw the opportunity, but realized he didn't have the skills. So between 1995 and 1999, he took electronics courses at ITE. Then came the 1998 crisis, which hit many businesses hard, including Johnny's. Undeterred, he modified his business plan to ride out the crisis. He changed his business focus from installing pumps to maintenance of pumps, a more shock-proof business model. To equip himself for this new direction, he took courses in plumbing from 1999 to 2002 and air conditioning from 02 to 05. Not content with this, from 03 to 04, he became a licensed plumber. And somewhere between the electronics, the air cons, and the pumps, he managed to notice the pretty girl in the seat behind him at ITE and married her. On the strength of continuing education and training from ITE and SVI, Johnny transformed himself over 15 years from an O-level school leaver to where he is today, the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. His company is still growing, and he has not stopped learning. He continues to take other courses, and he remains grateful to ITE, not just for his success in life, but also for his wife. The MOE-funded CET courses at the IHLs and the WDA-funded WSQ courses will help people to progress through life, just like Johnny. And there are also short courses offered by the polytechnics and ITE in a wide range of interest areas. Our IHLs are also centers of innovation. Let me now tell you Derek's story. Derek graduated from Republic Poly in 2008, and his dream was to start a business to make fish bakwa. After NS, he started a company in 2011 with help from Republic Poly and Spring, but the first venture failed. He didn't give up. He continued to pitch for investment, look for opportunities, and he continued to work with his mentor from Republic Poly's Center for Enterprise and Communication to improve his business plan. His original product was not so good in presentation, and also in terms of how it was done. He tapped on what he learned during his final year project at RP about processes to prevent the introduction of bacteria, and this led Derek to vacuum seal the fish bakwa to increase its shelf life without adding preservatives. Derek relaunched Ocean King in 2013 and secured his first funding in October 2014. It comes in 3 flavors: king salmon, big-eyed tuna, and blue marlin. Today, Ocean King is set on making the world's finest fish bakwa, a new take on a timeless tradition and the enjoyment of bakwa without the guilt. Derek's poly education put him in good stead to be an entrepreneur, but his story also shows how our polytechnics centers of innovation can help industry. This is the new face of education. Learning and collaboration need not stop when school ends. Education and industry are intertwined, and when done well, can spur entrepreneurship, support innovation and productivity, generate economic activity, and help make dreams come true. Madam Chairperson, if I may say a few words in Malay. Encik Zainuddin bertanya tentang hasil yang...
Mr. Zainuddin has asked about the program and learning for lifelong learning. With Skills Future, our students can get more opportunities to gain success in their life. Even though we do not have, we can't guarantee success for all, but with Skills Future, we can also increase their opportunities at work and in their career. ECG will help our students to recognize their strength and to identify the opportunities that are available in the different sectors. Applied learning will also enable them to learn, to gain knowledge about the real life and also knowledge about the industry with much better about industry. If they are successful in their studies, employers will want to employ them. The program will also enable them to learn and to gain wages, and at the same time to gain the required qualification. The Lifelong Learning Program, or CET, will enable them to improve their skills for lifelong learning. This will enable them to gain wage increases and also progress to different levels in their career, whether to become a director or to own a business. Mr. Johnny Ng's story that I have shared showed that how this can be done. I would like to encourage our students to take the opportunity that is offered by Skills Future. With hard work and diligence, we can all succeed regardless of where we started in English.
Yong spoke about the need to support research in humanities and social sciences, or HSS. HSS contributes to a better understanding of our society. It complements science and technology research. Investment in HSS research is important for Singapore's development. Concerted effort is needed to deepen research grounded in Singapore's context. Currently, MOE supports research funding for the social sciences through the Academic Research Fund. Many government agencies commission HSS research in areas relevant to public policy. The government is considering a bigger push in HSS research, guided by the consideration of serving Singapore's needs. The government will engage the academic community further on this. Thank you.